You know, I appreciate you coming and answering the questions. I'm glad we didn't have to look at 40 gigabytes of binary code. That wouldn't help a whole lot. And I think that's part of what needs to happen, is to put this in a way that the layperson can understand and feel some confidence that the product we're getting with our taxpayer money is safe, because that's obviously the question that's raised. I'm a little bit troubled about what seems to be a systemic problem in the agency, and perhaps this is a good time just to make sure we have the systems in place to try to keep the human factor at bay, because we are humans. We do make mistakes, sometimes by design, sometimes by default, but having proper systems in place helps keep that from playing out in unwanted manners. I'm concerned that it took a whistleblower in the press to really bring this to light, you know. I'm concerned that even when your agency knew about it, they didn't let the oversight committee know that there was a technician out there that had a history or some, you know, investigation going on about that, and yet he was tasked with working on sensitive pilings of the bridge. I'm concerned that the LAO has previously said that Caltrans is overstaffed by about 1,500 people that could save $200 million if we eliminated those positions. I'm concerned the Bureau of State Audits has said the department is incapable of managing its personnel. And it seems like, and maybe I'm wrong, but this is like a little blister on that, you know, of exposing that maybe that's true. Maybe we don't have the systems in place to manage that. And it's playing out in a way. The state auditor actually made some predictions that there would be some problems were that not brought into line. On the flip side is we see Caltrans tasked with very important and sensitive things, and yet most of the new construction is happening with the self-help counties. They make a case to the people, they get the money to do it. In some cases they contract out, in some cases they don't, but maybe because they're smaller, maybe because they do contract out, they seem to get things done a little bit better. Maybe that's just a perception. But when you do contract out things in a public-private partnership, the risk is transferred to the private sector. I can only imagine if you sitting here before us were a private entity that had falsified information, what the consequences would be. First of all, you'd be out of business. Second of all, you would have to make up, you know, the fixes. If there was data that went back and you had to cross-check your binary data with whatever else, that would be eaten by the business, not by the taxpayers. And yet we have a system where we sole source it and we pay for the consequences because we're not outsourcing our liability problems as we do when we contract out. So as Vice Chair of Budget, I just want to say we're heading into another time. We're possibly pulling trigger on things. I think the governor has done some realignment. There's pros and cons for that. This is an area he may want to look at realigning some of the projects to the counties that are already doing a good job in that. And so I think to the degree that a lot of these things are on the table as we try to make our state budget and our programs work, it's a good time for you to, it's not Fresno, come up here and try to make it work better, because we're looking at everything. And we have had confidence in the structures we drive across. We want to continue to have that, and we will have more questions as we go on. But I do thank you for coming here and helping us understand a little better the situation we're faced with. Thanks.